Double entry bookkeeping system. Yes, the very important system to be studied in financial accounting. And debit and credit, what we are learning through this module, is the base of double entry bookkeeping system. If you do recall your memories, we have studied this thing that accounting is a language. And if accounting is a language, I do claim that there should be some alphabets to this language. Okay, just pause and tell me, do you see any language without alphabets? No. We have this observation in English language as well as in Urdu language, which are commonly used in our country, that alphabets are over there. In the same way, since accounting is also a language, it carries unique alphabets that are 2 in count. So you can claim over here that comparatively, accounting as a language would have been easier than English or Urdu for learning point of view. Well, what are those 2 alphabets? These are debit and credit. So what we see, that debit is denoted by this symbol DR, and credit is denoted by CR. So in a way, you can say, like supposedly W, we call it W, but its symbol is this one. Okay, we do not say W, or we do not spell it like this, or R. We do not write it as R. We just denote it with this symbol. So in the same way, this debit is denoted by DR. We will not call it DR, we will call it debit now, this one. And credit. Remember, historically, these were taken from Latin words, debere and creder. So that's why you can see that these 2 letters are being used in this symbol, debit and credit. So the thing is that alphabets, whatever the language is, they do not carry any meaning. I repeat, alphabets do not carry any meaning. Can you give any meaning to D? Can you give any meaning to N? Can you give any meaning to S? No. In the same way, can you give any meaning to Alif, Lam, Mim? No. You cannot give any meaning to an individual alphabet. In the same way, you cannot give any meaning to debit and credit as an alphabet. So debit and credit are also termed as tools of accounting. Having said that these debit and credit are 2 alphabets of accounting, based on this concept, now what we will do, we will divide all the elements of financial statements or the main accounting heads into 2 groups. So one is debit group, which covers assets and expenses. And the second one is credit group, which covers owner's equity, liabilities, and incomes. I repeat, one is debit group. This debit group covers assets and expenses. And the second one is credit group, and this credit group covers owner's equity, liabilities, and income. Question arises that why not expenses and assets are named as credit group, and why not owner's equity, liability, and incomes are named as debit group? Remember one thing, when you have to name someone or anything, there is no logic behind that. Originally, when you have to give name to anyone, supposedly my name was given to me by my parents. They gave me name as Farhan. So at that time, there was no logic in the mind except the liking. That my name was liked as Farhan, they gave me Farhan as my name. So in the same way, what you will do, when you have to name the group in which you are having assets and expenses, you have given it a name which is debit group. And the group in which you see owner's equity, liabilities, and income, now you have to give it a name. Its name given by the accountants in the earlier period as credit group. Okay? So what we have to keep in our mind as important tips to remember ITTR, that debit and credit are two alphabets of accounting. Okay? And the most important thing, that debit nature goes to assets and expenses, and credit nature goes to owner's equity, liability, and income. ITTRs. Remember this. Thank you.